All right, people, today we're diving into the spicy omelet of Garland v. Vanderstock. No, seriously, because Justin Samuel Alito literally brought eggs, peppers, and a Western omelet into a Supreme Court argument about ghost guns. If you're thinking, wait, how did we go from ghost guns to grocery lists and omelets? Well, welcome to the world of legal arguments where anything can be used as an analogy. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I use a stupid amount of analogies to describe shit. It's just kind of what lawyers tend to do. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you're gonna understand how this whole thing matters to your Second Amendment rights and how the ATF argument got scrambled. See what I did there? All right, so for those of you wondering what the hell Garland v. Vanderstock is about, here's the deal. The ATF, in all of their wisdom, decided to classify certain unfinished gun parts, specifically frames and receivers, as firearms. This is all part of their ongoing war against so-called ghost guns, which are basically homemade parts that people can put together and then eventually make a gun. But they aren't serialized, so the ATF is like, oh my God, all the horror! The ATF is saying if it looks like a gun, could eventually be a gun, or maybe even dreams of being a gun, it's a gun. Yeah, and if you squint real hard at my car keys, they're a Bugatti. But we'll get back to the ATF's overreach in a second. Long story short, this case is all about whether the ATF is playing fast and loose with what actually counts as a firearm under federal law. And spoiler alert, Justice Alito wasn't buying it. This is where Justice Alito, in true Supreme Court fashion, decided to cut through the bullshit by asking the government's lawyer one of the most important legal questions of our time. And I'm not exaggerating here. He asked, if I have a blank pad and pen, is this a grocery list? To which the government, trying to sound smart, says, well, no, because a pad and pen can be used for all kinds of things, not just grocery lists. And that's when Alito pulls out the heavy artillery. He goes, well, all right, let's say I've got some eggs, chopped up ham, peppers, onions. Is that a Western omelet? Now, unless you're out here making omelets in your sleep, the answer is obviously no. That's just ingredients. But Alito's points were clear. Just because you've got the parts doesn't mean you've got the final product. Just like eggs and peppers aren't an omelet, a bunch of unfinished gun parts aren't a firearm. And y'all, this is where the ATF's entire argument gets scrambled. Because if you can't even make an omelet without cooking the eggs, how in the world are you supposed to call a hunk of metal a firearm? Oh, but he wasn't the only judge who kind of piled on with the analogies, because then Justice Amy Coney Barrett jumps in and asks, well, what if those ingredients were from HelloFresh? Like, okay, does the fancy packaging suddenly turn those eggs into a Western omelet? And the government, I kid you not, says, yeah, kinda. Now, where in this weird legal world where groceries from HelloFresh are somehow a step closer to becoming an omelet than if you just bought the ingredients from the local Kroger? Look, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure HelloFresh doesn't magically cook my food for me when it shows up at my door. I don't even really use HelloFresh, but nonetheless, you still gotta do the work. And then you have Justice Gorsuch bringing it home, asking about the ordinary meaning of words like firearm. Because you see, Congress has very specific definitions in the law for what is a firearm. And last time I checked, an unfinished hunk of metal didn't count. Gorsuch even called out the fact that as recently as 2021, the government itself said that these unfinished parts weren't firearms. So now they're trying to rewrite the whole rule in the middle of the game. And that's why this case is so important for the Second Amendment. If the ATF can just redefine firearm to fit their agenda, where does it stop? What's next? You've got a box of screws, so clearly you're building a tank, even though technically you can own a tank. So what does this all mean for your Second Amendment rights? Well, it's simple. The government is trying to push the boundaries of what counts as a firearm to control more parts of your life and your rights. And thankfully, we've got Supreme Court justices like Alito, Barrett, and Gorsuch who are willing to ask the real questions like, are eggs and peppers really an omelet? So next time someone talks to you about ghost guns and how they're untraceable firearms, just remind them of Justice Alito's omelet lesson. Parts aren't the whole, no matter how you cook them. Now, here's the thing. Why do we have judges like Alito, Barrett, and Gorsuch who actually get the Second Amendment and keep the ATF in check when they try to overreach? Well, it's because they were appointed by Donald Trump. Just is what it is. And look, this isn't me telling you who to vote for. It's me telling you that your votes have real consequences on your 2A rights. These judges on the bench aren't exactly spring chickens, if you get what I'm saying. So if you care about keeping America tactical, make sure you're voting for people who are going to put the right judges in place, people who will respect your right to bear arms. And when you do go vote, make sure you're rocking your state-specific Keep America Tactical premium hoodie, just like the one I'm wearing right now. It's available in all 50 states, and I've also got hats, shirts, drinkware, and this awesome and premium embroidered hoodie. So click the link in the description section of this video and grab your state-specific Keep America Tactical gear. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you, and we're all fighting this culture war together. Now, you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together, we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.